Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I am ASHRAF from Uswa College and I am talking to 10th class for lecture number 2, biology. An interesting thing is that today I will talk about respiratory system of human being. In the previous discussion I was talking about respiratory system in the plants, and of course as a human being we want to know our system, and that is very interested for 10th class. And we go back to the I am ASHRAF, your sir, and we go back to the topic which we discuss, that is respiratory system. But before talking about respiratory system, students, I will tell you that tubes in which air enters, that is trachea. Sequence wise I will tell you, this is very easy. Just follow one tube, you will be able to understand where air will go and where exchange of gases will take place. I am not talking about nose, I am not talking about oral cavity, I am not talking about the pharynx, I am just talking about a tube which is the air tube, which is a trachea, which is situated in the chest cavity. And I will give the I will show you diagram as well. So trachea opens into bronchus open into bronchioles, and bronchus open into bronchioles open into alveoli cells are the area in which exchange of gases take place. Pleural membrane, additional word I wrote here. Pleural membrane, basically the membrane of the lung, which I will discuss, but I will tell you the sequence once again. This is very important, because if you are going to understand the sequence of the air, from in which tube air will enter first of all, and in which when it exchange of the gases will take place, it's quite easier to understand. Trachea, the main air tube of the human body is the trachea, and then goes to bronchus, and then it goes to bronchus, and then bronchioles. Bronchioles is written here, okay, on the other side. Alveoli cells, the unit of the respiratory system present in the lungs. The lungs consist of tiny cluster of the cells, alveoli cell, where exchange of the gases, students, take place, and which is quite interested. So actual problem is that in our respiratory system, the basic objective is that you are just sending the air, mean oxygen, to alveoli cell. This is the main objective. And how you will remove this objective if you are sending air to the alveoli cell, where the exchange of the gases will take place? How you will send? These are the sources, these are the main areas, these are the main tubes by which the first of all the thing will enter. Air will enter first of all in trachea, it will enter into bronchus, it will enter into bronchioles, it will go to the alveoli cell, it will goes into the where the exchange of the gases. So major target to reach this oxygen to alveoli cells, that was the main target. When it will reach here, no problem, the exchange of the gases automatically will take place. So that's the main point I wanted to show you. You can see the slide now. We'll go back to the main thing which I wanted to share. The mucus gland which are situated in the trachea, that will secrete the mucus. One gland I am naming, I will name this gland once again, that is the mucus gland. If you are able to see in the slide, mucus, mucus. The mucus gland will secrete the mucus. This is just a liquid, just like water in the glass. If I have a liquid in the glass like water, so what will happen if I am sitting here? Suppose I am possessing glass with water. What will happen if air is blowing? After some time, the water in the glass will be full up of the dust particles. That will be full of the dust particles. So it means this mucus, liquid, has the capacity to dissolve the dust particles, just like the water in the glass was able to dissolve the dust particles. So this mucus in the air tube I am going to show you, don't worry, I am going to show you air tube. The air tube will dissolve the dust particles which enters into your body. That mucus which is in your trachea, main air tube, that will dissolve your dust particles. It will dissolve your dust particles. When it will dissolve your dust particles, definitely it has to be come out by any other source. So these cilia which are present inside the tube, they will vibrate like this one. They will vibrate in the upper direction, and then it will move. Look here, I am showing, this is the trachea. Look here, look at my picture. You are watching my fingers. This is trachea. In trachea, inside the trachea, there is a mucus gland. Mucus gland will secrete the mucus. What will happen to the mucus? The mucus will trap the dust particle. Dust particle, when it will be trapped, what will happen? The cilia will move up. Cilia will move up, and cilia will vibrate up. Yani will vibrate up just like a paramecium cilia. They will vibrate up and they will move the dust particles outside the body and they will enter into the digestive system. That is very easy. So that is the main objective of that. This layer is technically named. This layer is technically named. And what was the technical name of this layer? That was the mucus ciliated epithelial layer. Mucus ciliated epithelial layer. The students, once again, what is the mucus ciliated epithelial layer? Inside your trachea, inside your air tube, one is the gland, which is the mucus gland. It will secrete a liquid. Where the liquid will go, the liquid will just trap the dust particles which is going into your body. And those dust particles which are present in your body, what will happen? These dust particles will be moved up by cilia, which is written here. So these cilia will save you from the dust particle. And this question is, sir, where the dust particles will go? They will enter into digestive system, and that is not much danger in the digestive system, because they are more danger in the trachea, because air transport is more important than digestion, because there is no storage of oxygen in your body, which I will keep talking to you. We'll go back to our, this is the thing which I wanted to show you. Bolus enters, epiglottis closed. I know this bolus word is not new for you students of 10th class, because we were discussing a lot about the bolus, because the food is digested in the oral cavity. After the action of amylase, the food is called as bolus. Mean after action of amylase, conversion of starch to maltose by amylase in the oral cavity, the food, mean digested food, mean maltose, is called as a bolus. This is the bolus, and that is the main food which this is the first type of digested food after oral cavity. Okay, after oral cavity it enters into your trachea. After oral cavity the bolus enters into your esophagus. Acha, when it will enter into esophagus, so precautionary measurement, there is a threat, might be bolus enters into your air tube. Air tube in trachea, so it means two tubes are just closer, just like my fingers. Look at these fingers. One is a trachea, and one is a esophagus. Just closer, they are attached with each other. Right finger in the diagram is the supposed trachea, and left side is esophagus. So if the bolus is going to enter into esophagus, mean in this finger, right? This trachea should be closed, mean this one should be closed, otherwise bolus will enter into this one. This one mean trachea. When it will enter into this one, the air will not be able to go into your body and the person may die. So that is very significant factor. So nature prevented this thing. How? Look here, this finger, which is a trachea, at the top of the trachea, just like nails, there is a lid like structure, just like this one, lid like. It goes down, it move up, lid like structure which close the opening of trachea. Look here, lid like structure, lid like, move down, move up, move down, move up. Epiglottis, I am talking, this my finger is a epiglottis, it is above the trachea. So epiglottis means spelling EPIGLOTTIS written in the slide. Epiglottis close, look here, epiglottis open, epiglottis close. When close, when bolus is entering into your digestive system in esophagus. So digestive system, when the bolus will enter into digestive system in the esophagus, the epiglottis will close. This is very important. So this is the basic functional unit, function of respiratory system, because if this epiglottis is not working, so our respiratory system is unable to do the perform function. Otherwise all over food particles going into our trachea, and that way it will be very difficult for me to respire. If that happens, so nature, Allah Ta'ala provided us the very good things so that the bolus enters into our esophagus. We'll go back to our diagram. So we come back to the something. This is the tube which I was talking about, trachea, you are watching. This is the tube, trachea. Acha, here in this diagram, that esophagus is not, you are not watching the esophagus. Reason, because you are not studying the digestive system. Now I will tell you the esophagus, and then what happens. These are the bronchioles, these are the bronchioles inside the lungs, bronchioles. But I will tell you step by step once again, because we started from trachea, so I will start from the trachea. This top of the trachea, if you are watching, that is the glottis. Opening of the trachea at the top is called epiglottis. And now if you are watching the lid-like structure above the I am showing, just hold on. This is a lid-like structure above the glottis, visible to you, lid-like structure. If you want to see in my epiglottis, look here, my finger, okay, here in this direction inside, top of the trachea, this is epiglottis, EPIGLOTTIS. Look at the arrow. Where is the arrow going? This is where the arrow finishes. Where the line of the epiglottis finishes, there is the lid-like structure. This lid is open now. Currently it is open now. You will see that is open now. It will close only when the esophagus, small esophagus is visible. You are watching red color. Small little bit portion of esophagus is visible, and that if the food is entering into this tube, mean red color in the diagram, red color, just red tube, semi tube, not complete tube, the semi tube, half tube is shown, because we are not studying the digestive system here, and that way. But then bolus enters into this tube, what will happen? The lid-like structure, the epiglottis will close. Currently epiglottis is open. Why it is open? Why epiglottis is open? Reason is that, students, why epiglottis is open? Because reason for you are not eating, and your bolus is not going into your esophagus. So go back to the trachea opens into a small tube. Now this is a problem, because you just wanted to see the bronchi. What is the bronchi? Because I told you the bronchus. Plural of the bronchus is called as bronchi. The plural of the bronchus is called as a bronchi. The plural of the bronchus is called as a bronchi. So there are two bronchos, so I will say bronchi. Just trachea enters into two bronchi. Just you are watching the structure of bronchi. Both bronchi and the trachea almost same shape. Almost same shape. Little a bit different, size is different, structure wise is same. And I will tell you, I know what you are thinking about. You are thinking about the round shape lines in this tube. Yes, this is a skeletal system. These are the bone type structure. That is a C-shaped structure that will protect the trachea. Now question in your mind, sir, why esophagus has no bone and trachea has a round shape? Round shape means C-shaped skeleton. Why it is provided? Reason, this tube essentially to open all the time. Sir, why respiration, why this tube is more important, esophagus is not important? Because you are not eating all the time. You are eating just one time in 3 times in a day, or sometimes you are eating not 24 hours on air oxygen, because as there is no storage. Otherwise I respire one time and I close this tube and live after 24 hours. It never happens. The food is stored, oxygen is not stored. There is no storage house of oxygen, unfortunately. So what you have to keep this tube open all the time. If that tube is closed, it means that is the finish. Life is finished, because oxygen is not available. The oxygen will not react with the glucose, and no energy will be produced, no carbon dioxide produced, no water produced, no respiration reaction will take place, and no ATP molecule will be produced. And as a result, what will happen? What will be the problem? ATP molecule will not be produced, and energy will be zero, and respiration is zero, and human's life and even any living thing life is impossible except anaerobic bacteria. Now go back to trachea. Once again, trachea, C-shaped ring-like structure, skeleton. And now question once again arise, sir, bronchi, look here, the bronchi, line of the bronchi goes to small 2 tubes, which are basically the trachea opening into these 2 tubes. Sir, bronchi also consist of this skeletal system? Yeah, they also consist of skeletal system in small bones. And just a difference between bronchi and trachea, there are 3-4 differences, but 2 significant differences I will tell you. Size of the bronchus is the small, and the size of the trachea, if you are watching, you are visible that size of the trachea is the large, number one. Second one, the difference I will share, students, the sequence mean the distance between these 2 C-shaped skeleton is the same almost in the trachea, but C-shaped skeleton incomplete. Achha, this is also called incomplete cartilage. This is also called incomplete cartilage. Incomplete cartilage. That technically it is cartilage. Cartilage is also part of skeletal system. Bone is also the part of the skeletal system, but this is the cartilage. So C-shaped cartilage present in trachea, and the C-shaped cartilage present in the bronchus and these two things as plates, cartilage plates are present. This will keep the tubes open. Go back to the bronchi will open into small tubes. You are watching the small tubes in the lungs. I magnify, that is visible to you or not? Yes, they are visible. Now, those are the bronchioles. Those are the bronchioles, bronchioles, bronchioles. These bronchioles basically are the main tubes which will open into cluster of the cells, small cell alveoli cells. Cluster of the cells, alveoli cells. And these alveoli cells, what will happen? These alveoli cells will basically will provide the exchange of the gases. Yani question is that, sir, alveoli cells, objective, we just want to enter the air into alveoli cells. Alveoli cell spelling, this is alveoli cells. You are watching cluster of alveoli cell. One cell is also mentioned single in the single format, and cluster of the alveoli cells also mentioned here. You can see the alveoli cells. Now question is, sir, why we are entering air into alveoli cell? What is the benefit of that? Yes, this is the respiratory system only objective, to enter oxygen into these small cells, which are in multiple numbers they are microscopic, they are not visible, they are multiple in numbers, they are present in the lungs. And what they are doing, why they are important, reason, they are supplied with the capillaries. You are watching the capillaries, black color capillaries surrounding the alveoli cell. Yes, these capillaries are important because they are the part of circulatory system, your last chapter in 9th class. So capillaries which are consisting of the blood, that consist of carbon dioxide, that consists of the carbon coming from the tissues, because tissues can release carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide goes into the blood, and that goes into these capillaries. And these capillaries of the carbon dioxide of the capillaries, they will enter the carbon dioxide into these alveoli cells. Now you are getting the idea why alveoli cells are important, because they are the only cells in respiratory system that they are surrounded by blood capillaries. That makes the alveoli cell important, because what will happen? These capillaries which consist of carbon dioxide, that carbon dioxide will flow from high concentration to the low concentration into the alveoli cell. Second flow important. Students, I want your attention, please. You are attentive or not? I have to speak this sentence or not? I want your attention. Oxygen in the alveoli cells, sir, from where oxygen comes? By trachea. We discussed by trachea. It goes into by trachea. It goes into the bronchi, via bronchus. It goes into the bronchioles. It goes into the alveoli, and this oxygen in the alveoli cell will move from high concentration to low concentration. Mean from alveoli cell to the capillary. On both sides we worked. Yani two type of conversion take place, which I told. The one conversion was that. What was the one conversion? The conversion was the carbon dioxide move from the capillaries to the alveoli cell. That was the first conversion. But for the second conversion, oxygen goes from alveoli cell to the capillaries. So these conversions are this is the respiration. But this is the respiration. One respiration is that which is take place in mitochondria, because blood will carry this oxygen to the mitochondria, and mitochondria will react with the glucose. But this is the external respiration. As I told you in the last lecture, external respiration is called as a breathing. So this is a external respiration in which oxygen enters into blood and carbon dioxide comes from the blood to the alveoli cell. So that was the students quite easier one is for you. I know, I can understand, because you studied circulatory system very well, and you know the capillaries, long discussions of capillaries, arteries, veins in the last sections of the 9th class. So I think that is not difficult for you. But most important thing, alveoli cells in the respiratory system, because they will carry oxygen and carry oxygen move from them to the capillaries from high concentration to low concentration. And now we go back to some informations about the nasal cavity. Students, nasal cavity means nose. Your cavity inside the nose is called nasal cavity. It has some openings outside. You have opening, okay, my fingers goes to my openings of the nose. Okay, ji, clear? These are external nostrils. These are the external nostrils. So I am talking to external nostrils now. And now if you goes into the nasal cavity and the openings inside the nose, that goes at the back side. You are watching in the diagram as well. I am showing your slide. That is the main opening. This is a outer nostril, external nostril. Hey, this line is external nostril, and internal nostril, these are external nostril, and in this opening inside, means this is external nostril, this is a cavity, look here, cavity, this is a cavity inside, and then it goes into internal openings, those are the internal nostrils, and that open into your oral cavity, mean pharynx. Achha, what is the pharynx? Pharynx come after oral cavity. Oral cavity, I am opening my oral cavity, and then it goes into small tube. This is a small tube, look here, my finger, small tube. This is basically a small cavity with the muscles, pharynx, and that opens into trachea and esophagus. So oral cavity, pharynx, and then two tube, which is a trachea, or the esophagus. So that is not that is important, but most important, epiglottis, students. I will speak once again. Epiglottis mean, this is a word which you need to remember, and you should need to write in the, when I will discuss in the scoring sessions, because scoring sessions will depend upon the information which I will provide in this. I am just keen to participate in the scoring session with you, and I hope if you will listen these lectures, you will be able to perform in the scoring session. And bolus enters, epiglottis close. Okay ji? When bolus will not enter, epiglottis will not close, epiglottis will remain open. What is the epiglottis? Epi mean up, glottis mean opening, opening of trachea, opening of trachea. Cilia, this is the main thing in the trachea. I told you two main things in the trachea: ciliated, the mucus, ciliated epithelial layer, ciliated mucus epithelial layer, the gland which are situated in the trachea is called mucus gland. In the trachea, they will secrete mucus. Mucus is a liquid, it will trap dust particles, it will trap dust particles. What will happen? The dust particles will be trapped, and dust particles will be carried up by the cilia, by upward movement of the cilia will move up, and when cilia will move up, so as a result, what will happen? The dust particle will enter into digestive system, and it will be removed from that tube in which they are in danger, because you need to keep open your trachea, you need to remove all dust particles, otherwise that will be you will be in a danger. So that is the basic functional behavior of respiratory system, the mucus ciliated epithelial layer. Now one another very important point which I want to share, students. In the nose also this layer is present. But the point I told you, in the nose also similar layer is present. In the nose also the ciliated, the mucus epithelial layer. So, but difference, yes, difference is there. This mucus in the nose, in cilia in the nose, that will flow, that will vibrate in opposite direction. In trachea, upward direction, that will be outward direction, so that your dust particles move out the nose, so they should not enter into your pharynx, mean which comes after oral cavity. Another point I told you, which I told you, students, that is the way trachea open into bronchus, the bronchus open into bronchioles, the bronchiole goes into alveoli cells, and they are exchange of the gases. Pleural membrane, only one thing, because I have to tell you about the lung structure as well. The membrane of the lung is called pleural membrane. Technically that is a double membrane. Membrane of the lung is a double membrane. A membrane of the lung is double membrane. Yani two membranes present, just like heart. Heart consists of double membrane, your lungs consist of double membrane, and both membranes are called pleural membrane. Students, about the pleural membrane, I will give you one information. Between the two pleural membranes, one membrane is there, okay, second membrane is here, one membrane is here, one membrane is here. Between these two layers there is a liquid. It's just like the same as in the heart. You remember pericardium? How many layers were present? Two. Pericardium were two layers. Why? Because between them liquid should be present. Why the liquid? To prevent the heart, because that liquid is a shock absorber. Similarly in the lungs also, pleural fluid, spelling P-L-E-U-R-A-L, pleural fluid is present, which is a shock absorber. In the last, students, I will only share one information and then I will finish. Trachea, these ring-shaped cartilage, C-shaped cartilage in the trachea and in the bronchus. So they will keep open the air tube. Thank you very much, and I hope you will remember these things, and you will also write these things. You will recalling of these lessons are very important, because you know, if you want to perform in the upcoming sessions in the classroom and also in the upcoming lectures, you want to remain active, you want everything should be in your mind, you have to understand each lecture on this spot. Thank you very much.